Hey guys, anybody there yet? Oh yeah, we got a couple people there. I'll let some people trickle in. Hey Nick, what's going on? Carol, how's it going? Oh, there's some people. Hey buddy. If anybody hasn't seen my dog before, this is Riggs. He's reminding me it's time to go throw a BALL for him, but I got to do this. I know, buddy. I know. We got like an hour here. Noah, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Well, I don't have a real agenda tonight. I never really know what to do in these things, but I tend to enjoy them, and hopefully you guys get something out of it, and I can answer some questions here in a little bit. But let's see. Last time we asked where people are watching from, it was pretty all over the board. Where's everybody at today? Florida, Louisiana. Oh, those came in quick. I got a London. It's like trying to catch the credits at the end of a TV show and they start scrolling all fast. Oh, thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. Go Beavs. There we go. Oregon State fan. The other OSU. Green Bay. Well, awesome. Well, Norway, nice. Well, I had something I wanted to see if you guys could offer some input on. And Brian, I recognize that. Sorry, my old neighbor put our old street, and it kind of triggered me wondering how that could have happened. But cool. Yeah, I was going to see if you guys had any ideas of... I got some cool stuff coming in, and I'll be giving away some of my old stuff because I figure at this point, if I get like a cool new tool that's given to me, I should probably give away the old one. So what's a clever way if I had like a really cool item, like a 20-inch planer? I know that not everybody here is a woodworker, but does anybody have any suggestions on how I could give that away? It's gonna be hard to ship something big like that too, but I don't want to make a full hidden camera thing where I surprise someone, but I was going to see if anybody had any suggestions of cool giveaways or even other channels that have done good ones that I could reference for that, because it's harder than you guys think to give something away. There's always people that get upset and think that I'm trying to scam them, and it can be kind of tricky. Charity auction. Andrew says he'll buy it. The problem is I don't want to sell it. I feel like if I get a free new one, then I should just give the old one away. Raffles are tricky too, Miranda, because those are a lottery, and we did that before, and it was a real mess to do that legally. So you can't just hold a raffle. Squid Games, yes. Okay, now we're on to something, Jordan. All right, I got to get weird and close because I'm old and can barely read. Do a theme contest. All the participants are part of a random draw. Donate to a school. It's actually a good idea. Sponsor a small wood shop like me, Lions Den. So let me talk about that for a second. You guys can keep giving me your ideas. I'll try to catch them. I did a giveaway a while ago, and I don't want to be too specific on it, but I wanted to give it to a young woodworker. So I had this young kid that was trying to get into it. And long story short, the guy who showed up was basically giving it to an able, 45-year-old man that could buy his own prize that I was giving away. The kid was happy, but you could tell that this was more for the dad than for him. And I'm like, why didn't I just give this to someone more deserving? So it's not always, just someone young getting started out. So it's all part of the tricky process of finding someone deserving for this, because there's all these people trying to, mooch off you. Give it away to you, but I don't know you. Past Reese said something. You might be another dirtbag like that guy. Hey, John from Louisiana. Competition build off. A lot of things giving it to a school. I'm not against that. They could be cool. I mean, be pretty deserving. They're probably not going to fork over for a nice planer like that. Dennis says they're starting a school. Donate to a veteran. I like that idea, actually. You could sell it and donate the cash. It's actually a good idea, too. I think that's not a bad way to do it. I kind of like the... If you could find someone deserving, I feel like that's the best way to do it. I like that idea. About the makerspace, remind me in a minute. We'll talk more about the makerspace thing. But how could we suggest or nominate someone? Should I just have a thing on my website where people can kind of nominate their person? And is that what type of people are the most deserving? Are veterans? I'm pro military. I think it's cool, but how do we decide? Because now you choose one person and you're not choosing all these other obviously deserving people. Auction it, donate the money. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Joey, I'm going to be giving away a couple things if you just tuned in. I'm hoping to be getting a new planer, I have a really nice planer now. It's $2,800 planer, and I'd like to give it to a good home, but it's harder than you think to find a good home. Randomly and fair, no stress. It's fair, but not always the most fun. Send it to Korea. No, not Korea. Too much. Costs more in shipping than it's worth. Nightmare client story. Don't really have those, actually. I have pretty good clients. Yeah, someone mentioned, how do you verify their service? And there's a difference between a guy who loses his leg in active combat and someone who went in and got the free school and didn't necessarily put their life at risk. Not that they're not both deserving, but one of them is probably more deserving. If people write, well, why they deserve it? What if they lie? How do I know if they're lying? Oh, thanks, Jose. I appreciate that. Hello from Oregon. All right, let's circle back to this. I think we got some good ideas, because I have another question for my foreign, or at least out of the United States viewers. When you guys ask where we're from, do you want us to say the United States, or do you want us to say the city or state, or both? I never know what to say if someone from Portugal says, where are you from? And I'd be like, Oregon, United States. Because I don't want to know what state in Germany someone's from, so they could just say Germany. So I want to know. People out of the country, let me know what is appropriate. State, both. GPS coordinates, there we go. City or state? The state, city, state, and country. God, that's a lot of work. Both, state. State, country. All right. So is it wrong if I just say one or the other? If I only say United States, is that wrong? Or if I only say the state, is that wrong? Because it sounds like it's fairly open here. Nearby big city. Interesting, Ken. I just got to know. I don't know what that has to do with it. Albany, Oregon. Do you know me? 7 Mile? That's where I'm from. State and mother's maiden name. That's good. That's good. Gmail login, that type of thing. Andrew lives in Albany too. We got Albany, Oregon, well represented. There we go. All right. Well, I answered that question. Let's open up to a little bit of Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them best I can. How's the audio today, by the way? I changed a couple things around. Last time it was kind of crackling. Tom's I'm not hiring right now. Best entry level planer. Check out the new Spiral Head by Oliver. All right, they're coming through pretty quick now. Try to do my best to read these. Jackson wants to know, he started getting into epoxy, he wants to start making cutting boards, bare minimum tools to start. It's probably too long of a question for right here. I'm going to try to keep these pretty short. As a professional audio person, audio is clear tonight? Excellent. Thank you, Stephen. Have I ever thought about doing small cutting boards? I've done them in the past, but no, I have no intention of doing those like for sale. Although I have one kind of back in the corner there that I did just for fun recently. Worked with reclaimed wood such as barn beams a little bit. My favorite beverage depends on what it is. I'm kind of a caffeine junkie, so I drink Rockstar in the morning. Yeah, by the way, the Oliver is back ordered. They do have 2 containers coming in, so they should be getting more pretty soon. I'm drinking a Voodoo Ranger tonight. It's an IPA. All right. Sam says, how do you get into epoxy when you don't have thousands for bulk packs? I don't know what that means. Sorry. I should pick a question I actually know the answer to. Appreciate the positive words there, people. Favorite beer / alcohol? Lions Den says, I like the Rogue Dead Guy a lot. That's been my favorite beer for a little while. My dream shop size, bigger, always bigger. So that's always the answer. How tall am I? I am about 6 feet. I don't know what that is in metric. Tony says a good question that gives me a good segue. Asks, any in-person classes coming? Let's talk about that for a little bit. That's a good topic. I have, hopefully in like a week or two, a virtual workshop coming up. So if anybody is into the epoxy thing, I decided that it's too hard to host these in-person epoxy workshops anymore. So I'm going to do a virtual one, kind of like a masterclass type of thing. So I actually hired like a legit film crew, and we're doing, it's like 3.5 hours long. It's basically everything in my in-person workshops plus some. We even did some live sessions where I fielded live questions to kind of give the in-person workshop feel, where they could ask questions that I hadn't thought of. It's really cool. I'm really proud of it. It's been a lot of work, and that'll be up in, it's supposed to be up like a week ago, but it's taken a little bit longer. So the epoxy workshop, if you want to do anything with epoxy, I give like everything. All my YouTube videos, I can't have all the information in there because I have to worry about retention, because all you guys have such a short attention span. I have to like kind of keep it just rolling. So I was able to get all the information into this workshop. It's like 3.5 hours long. It's going to be $99 at least at the start. So if you guys want like a paid workshop that's going to be like really, really thorough, there's going to be a ton of information. It's going to be up pretty soon. How much does it cost, Sarah? Yeah, $99. My in-person ones were $250, and that was probably going to go up. So now they're going to be, it's going to be available. You can rewatch it as much as you want. And there's a lot of information in there. So that's the next thing. I'm not going to do the in-person ones anymore. It's just COVID's not one to go away, and it's a pain here in Oregon. Why is Rubia the best finish? Didn't say it was the best finish. It's my favorite one. And we actually do finish a pretty in-depth finish session in that workshop too. But it's really natural. I like the sheen of it. I like that you can repair it in place. It's just got so many positives. Flick asks if I ever want to try metalworking for my projects. And originally, yeah, I'm like, oh, I'll be like a metal shop and a wood shop, and I'll do everything all in-house. Then I realized how hard it is to get good at woodworking. And I'm like, I don't want to spend that much work and money and tools and everything to be in metalworking. So I just outsource all that. Jennifer says, hi, puppy. Hey, Riggs. Somebody says hi. Yeah, it's a good pup. Happy holidays, Stephanie. Happy holidays to you. Sarah asked, does Rubio work for most applications? Yeah. I don't know. I haven't tried it on everything, but it does work. Somebody asked the best CA glue. I haven't really found a bad one. Most of them are pretty similar. The one I normally use, it's like the weirdest name. It's like P10 something or other. But yeah. Do I pour my deep pour epoxy while the seal coat is still tacky? Yes, I do. Bennett says, hi, Riggs. Hey, buddy, your little snout. It's just barely on screen. If my wife was here, he'd be up on her lap. He just, when she does anything at a desk, he just crawls up on her lap and puts his head on the table. Do I need the Rubio with the C2? I don't know. Is that the activator? I'm told yes, but not positive. What kind of projects would you recommend starting with for $1,000 to $2,000? That's a pretty good budget. Sorry, I can't. Harmon Nation builds. You can do just about anything you want for $1,000 to $2,000. You can't buy the most expensive slabs, but I think like a desk, you wouldn't have to necessarily be in it that much money. I like a desk. I think desks are really fun. John asked soccer or football. Oh, I try not to get political, but football, real football, American football. Rob asks, what dyes do I suggest? I use Trans-Tint, which is funny. On my very first epoxy table, I just bought some random dye that happened to be Trans-Tint, and it's still the dye that I use today. So I've stuck with it for a long time, and it works really well. Ren says, does anyone else think Cam looks like Matthew McConaughey? When I was younger, I used to get that a lot more. Everybody but my wife thinks that. So I used to get that a lot, but my wife's like, no, you don't look anything like him. So try to convince her of it. There was an interview he did. Amber says Matthew's at the hair where he had a shaved head, and people are like, oh, okay, maybe in that one video you look kind of like him. One person, one of my wife's friends, he comes over for Halloween. I was dressed up like a cowboy, and he goes, "Oh, you look like Matthew McConaughey." And I was like, yelled at my wife, like, "Yeah, told you." And he goes, "Just like in that movie." And I'm thinking like one of like his surfer dude where he's all jacked up, and he goes, "Dallas Buyers Club." That's the one where he had AIDS. Like that's the Matthew McConaughey I look like. So yeah, it's not always a great thing. All right, what do we got? Best wood is myrtle wood. Myrtle wood's really, really pretty. The wind hitting my what? I don't even know I don't even want to know what that one says. Have I done anything with madrone burl? No, but Gobi Walnut has a giant root ball of madrone. It's like 2,000 pounds that's been sitting in their warehouse. They haven't put it up for sale for like 2 or 3 years. So I don't know what to do with it, but it's cool. This guy asked, why did I stop flying? So I could woodwork and do YouTube lives and that type of thing. Have you used the ceramic finishes? Yeah, I've used those quite a bit. That's actually in my workshop video too. I touch on the ceramic, and I've done that in some of my YouTube videos as well. Ricky says, give me something. Okay. How about a shout out? Hey, Ricky. Flip-flops or sandals? I call them flip-flops. Thoughts on the Festool Rotex? All right, we can talk about that. I think it's really good at removing material. I just think it's a really kind of shitty sanding pattern. Doesn't make I thought it would be like I just buy one sander and it'll be good for everything, and it's not. It's really only good for removing material, even in the fine mode. So yeah, it's just okay, but it works good at removing material. Keylor says loves my room. Thanks. I painted a little dark. I wanted pretty dark, but it ended up almost black. But it works. It's very, very YouTuber. Am I a fan of Superclear's new 24-hour epoxy? I actually haven't tried it. And most of the things I do are pretty deep, so I don't know that I'm gonna try it. I don't do a lot of the shallow serving board type of thing, but they make really good stuff. Aside from walnut, what are the best wood species to use for table projects? It's a good question. Isaac says, or he asked, I think most any hardwood really. You know, around here we have a lot of maples, oaks, elms, that type of thing. I'd stay away from the softwoods. You know, if you have access to some of the exotics, those are really cool too. But yeah, most any hardwood. What's the cause of burls? I don't know. Does anybody watching know what causes burls? Like, does it cause by like being too close to another tree's burls? It kind of rubs off. Do I like white oak? Yeah, white oak's cool. It's very on trend now. My wife tells me. Expat in Bangkok. Cool. Appreciate you tuning in. How are Super Clear's dyes? I actually am embarrassed to say I've never tried them. Cancer causes burls. Tree tumor. There we go. Never use sweet gum. Branch growth causes burls? Huh. Joe talks about checking out the Gobi walnut selection. Yeah, they got some crazy stuff there. I got a wild burl slab from them recently that it's going to be a cool video. I actually have an idea. Ever used pecan? A little bit. Our old cutting board, I got sent some pecan, and I made a cutting board out of it, and it was awesome. It was like super hard, but wasn't too hard that it hurt the knives. Made a really good cutting board. My wife eventually ruined it though. Using honey locust, I cut up some black locust. I don't know if that's the same. I didn't end up doing with it. I had these black locust burls for like 6 years in my attic, and I finally just gave them away on like Instagram or something. Someone was pretty excited though. Hey Doug, hello from Northwest Oregon. Worked with birch trees? No, I haven't. How did I start woodworking? I just started messing things up. I just had something I was going to talk to you guys about, and I totally forgot it. I feel like comments. Can people, when you tune into YouTube Live, can you start from the beginning? I don't know how this works. Video with my wife. She works too late. My wife works way harder than I do. So she's never home in time. It'd be a late night before she got home. Okay, so they're tuning in, watching the start, and then commenting on things from like 15 minutes ago. I get it. That's fine. Is it a bad idea to buy quality lumber ahead of time if you find really good prices? Well, Matt, that's a great question. It can be. I bought some stuff that I got really good prices on like so many years ago, and I still have them because they were actually not a good deal. They weren't properly dried. So, yeah, those weren't a good deal for me. But that said, I just bought four slabs from the same tree from Gobi Walnut because they were this like insanely beautiful wood that I'll never see again. So I was like, I'll take them. And I was going to buy 8 of them. Then I realized that was $20,000, and I was like, all right, I'll take 4. then we'll go from there. YouTube Live, not YouTube start from the beginning. All right, I see you working, Josh. That makes sense. My favorite kind of beer. We already keep up, Ben. We already answered that one. How to match black dye between the pores. I've showed that in some videos. I started doing I went and got some syringes from Walgreens, like drug addict syringes, and I was using like a milliliter. So I'd have this many milliliters of dye per gallon or per liter, however you want to do it. Hey, Jake. Thanks, man. Montgomery Krause says, it's so easy how much we have in common. I'm an EMT in Washington. Cool. Want to become a flight medic? Well, good, man. Go hit up Life Flight. Tell them I sent you, although they won't remember me by now, probably. Love the responses to the haters. Yeah, man. This is what I'm here for. Roachworks, hola, ¿cómo está? Thanks, Nefine, if I said that right. How stable were you when you left your day job? That's a good question, John. If you guys don't know, I used to be employed as a life flight pilot, quit my job to do this full time, which was a big decision. And I was making just about as much doing YouTube and furniture and everything, Amazon, everything combined as my day job, which it's not a one for one though, because you got to think about it is it didn't replace my income because I was still making that income. So really I was making double the income. And then when I quit my day job, I was going to have to make twice as much doing YouTube and furniture and all that as I did with that. So it's not quite as simple as like, oh, I made as much as my day job so I can quit. Is you had both and now you're going to lose one of them. So that's how stable I was. It was pretty good, but it wasn't, super easy. Ever use Rotten Stone for finishing? I actually own some, just that I was experimenting with at one time, but no, I don't really know much about it. Joe asks, do I have any plans on doing a collaboration with another one on YouTube? Yeah, I've talked to Modestro Maker. We chat pretty regularly. It's just hard to line something up. I had a cool idea for him, but yeah, I'll do something with someone. You guys have any suggestions on another YouTuber that you think I should? Yeah, actually, I would love to know what other YouTube channels do you guys like? And it doesn't have to be just woodworking, but what other woodworkers do you like? What other YouTube channels do you guys like? Because I watched a lot of YouTube actually, but I don't know what my viewers watch. Wood Whisperer, John Malecki, Bourbon Moth, Katz Moses, Frank Howarth, Adam Savage, a lot of John Maleckis, 731 Woodworks, Four Eyes, Sawyer Design. Talked to Sawyer today, actually. Matt Cremona, Fireball Tool, they're a cool channel. Fisher Shop, Demolition Ranch. I think I've seen that. Steve Ramsey. I did his podcast. He's actually he's a sharp guy. He kind of plays the like shucks guy, but Steve's a crafty old guy. Tim Pool, Joe Rogan. Miss You Norm says I'm done with epoxy. Okay. I'm glad you tuned in to tell me. Jimmy DeResta. Yeah, he's got cool stuff. John Malecki spelled very wrongly. Mr. Builder, Alex Steele. Yeah, he's got cool stuff. Casey Neistat. That's like one of the biggest guys, right? But I've never seen anything he's done. I know he's like some huge YouTuber, but I've never seen him actually. Bob Vila? Is Bob Vila on YouTube? I don't believe you. Bob Vila cannot be alive. Stumpy Nubs, he's really good. He's like one of the most knowledgeable people when it comes to like you watch a video and you're like, oh, this guy, he really knows his stuff. Matthias Wendell, yeah, he's got like the biggest woodworking YouTube page and like does not care the slightest bit about it. I watched a podcast with him, and he's got way more than me, way bigger than me. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got to go put in for my gold plate that he's had like 5 years ago that should have come, and he didn't even care." Which I'm like, typical YouTuber, like, "Oh, I got to get it up, put it up immediately." Bob Vila's still alive. That's good. I'm happy. Bob Vila's he's the man. He's the original. How'd you sell your project when you're first starting out? Love the videos. Thanks, Kai. Etsy. Etsy's the way to do it. It's amazing how good Etsy is. Haven't tried Black Fiends Graphene yet. Heard good things though. Hey, Jared from Oregon. Ron Swanson, nice. What are some projects you guys want to see? And also, not just you'd want to see, but you think would make a good video? Because if you say make a simple thing with simple hand tools that anybody can do, you think you want to see that, but that video has been done a million times and it's super boring. So don't suggest that one. So what video do you want to see? But not just do you want to see, you would actually watch, because that's the catch. You guys always think you want a certain video that makes sense in your head. I want something made with 2x4s with regular hand tools. Then you watch and you're like, yeah, that kind of sucked. That was really boring. So what do you guys want to see that you would actually watch? Palette project. I think we've had enough palette projects. Balsawood house. Now we're talking. This thinking outside the box. I like this. Softwood Shosugiban. Yeah, I like more burnt stuff. Epoxy chair. Gara Wood. If you don't follow him on Instagram or YouTube, is like the most insane chair maker you've ever seen, and he did an epoxy one, and it's real deal. I wouldn't even try because his was so good. Forge a knife and make a handle. I'd like to get into some blacksmith stuff eventually. Do a little bit anyway. I think it'd be cool. Dresser out of a single slab. All right. Headboard. Yeah, I think a really cool big like statement headboard would actually be a cool piece. Standing desk. Yeah, that's a good. I like that idea. Grandfather clock. How talented do you think I am? I'm a freaking YouTuber. I can't build a grandfather clock. Double bow tie and a bow tie. I was gonna do that video, but then I found out it's been done a bunch. And but yeah, I like that idea too. But apparently people have already done it. Not that people haven't already done an epoxy table, and I keep making that video, so maybe I will. Lathe project. That's a good point. I'm waiting till I totally exhaust everything I'm capable of, and like 5 years from now, I'll buy a lathe and I'll start turning, and that'll hopefully rejuvenate my page at that time. Furnished birdhouse. There we go. Waterfall table. I actually have a pretty cool idea. I don't want to give it all away yet for a pretty unique waterfall table. So actually a waterfall desk, I think, is the plan. Table with engravings on it. All right. Epoxy and live edge TV trays. We'll think about that one. Epoxy bust of me. That's good. There we go. I like that. CNC stuff. I don't know how to work a computer. You guys are lucky that I can pull this thing off. Christmas tree. My wife won't let me touch her Christmas trees. Black walnut wheel wedges. I don't know what that is. High-end dog bed. Before I started my YouTube page, I built probably the coolest doghouse you guys have ever seen. It was awesome. It was for this guy that he's laying down on the ground now behind me. It had flowing water. It had a curved deck that came up to the water feature. It was timber framed, came out, and he hated it. He would not go in there. He would bark if we put him out there. So he ended up just sleeping on the couch all day. And our cat would actually go into his like dog Shangri-La. So I like the idea of the doghouse. I tried to give it to like some sort of shelter when we were moved, but nobody would even return my calls. So we gave it to the new owners. And I don't think they even wanted it. Treehouse. I got a lot of trees. I don't have any kids though, so it might be weird that a grown man go and hang out in a treehouse. Maybe I'll do it somebody else's place. Chessboard. I think the chessboard's too small. People seem to like big stuff that I make. Wooden computer. All right, with like little wooden gears. Yeah, I could probably do that. Rifle stock. I did a BB gun restoration video that was actually pretty cool. I did that a couple years ago. I was pretty happy with that. I have it actually over on the other side of this office now. 15-foot table. God, it hurts my back just thinking about it. Come on, guys. What other ideas we got? What's a really cool, unique YouTube video? It doesn't have to be the first time it's ever been done, but something kind of interesting. Shuffleboard table. My friend was asking me to make him a shuffleboard table recently, and like two other YouTubers made shuffleboard tables like the same week, and I was like, I guess that video Might be a little exhausted for at least the next couple months. Cadillac interior. I have wanted to do that burnt wood and epoxy on like a car interior or actually a truck bed. I thought doing like a wooden, like an old school like 60s truck with the wooden bed of doing that burnt wood epoxy. I think that'd be super cool. I just gotta get hooked up with the right car guy for that. Billiard table. I like that. Amboina. I never learned how to say that word. Amboina burl. Yeah, that's pretty. I'd be into that. I don't have any fingernails, by the way, so I can't open. Oh man, so hard for me to open a beer. Burnt wood dashboard. Yeah, I had someone reach out recently, asked if I'd do their dashboard in their Aston Martin, and I gave him like a pretty substantial quote, and he's like, "Oh, that's more than the car cost because it was a really old Aston Martin." Bicycle trailer? What's a bicycle trailer? Front door. Front door would be cool. Desk made from a tree stump. I like where you're going there. D&D table, Dungeons and Dragons. There we go. What else? Come on, guys. I know this idea is in there. And then when I do it and the video blows up, you guys can sue me and say that was my idea. Canoe, yeah, the wooden boat thing. Canoes, I think that's super cool. Patio chest cooler, yeah, I like the idea of doing something outdoors. I haven't done a lot of outdoor stuff. I think that's a cool idea. Staircase, my shop idea got shot down by the county, my expansion, and I was gonna do like a really sketchy monostringer stair in my shop. It was gonna be awesome, but county said I can't build my shop. You guys come to me for inspiration? Well, good. A little give and take here. I like it. A shed. I did a shed video, actually. I got that video. Good idea, though. Giant round table. I got a big round table coming up. It's going to be a cool video. It's this crazy big walnut burl. Million subscriber play button. You talking about like doing that in like a table or something? My wife told me I should, cast it in epoxy or do something with it, and I'm not opposed to it. Bedroom set instrument. That would be cool. I've wanted to get into guitar making just for fun. So I do think that a guitar would be really cool. I actually reached out to a couple guitar builders that I follow on Instagram, and they both seem like they're fairly into potentially collaborating. So I think that could be cool. Well, thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it. Oh, Hassan, I like you as a friend, so I appreciate that. A full-size car. Have you guys seen that guy that carves the like little mini cars that get like 100 million views on YouTube? It's crazy. It's pretty good though. Paper towel holder. All right. Bert guessed a paper towel holder, which means that we're officially out of ideas. Let's see here. 540. I think, by the way, if my camera dies, the battery wasn't full on it. So I apologize if the screen just goes black. All right. What's the next topic? What else we want to talk about here? What's on you guys' mind? Sauna. Make an outhouse. People do like to shit on my work. Jewel Hardwoods has some 10-foot walnut cookies. It's a pretty good cookie. Matthew wants to talk about crypto. Might not be familiar with my page. Is Blacktail an LLC? Yeah, it is. But it hasn't always been. Just like the last year or so. Talk about metalworking? I don't know much about metalworking, but we can talk about it if you want. Most important aspect of shop design? God, I don't know. It's I made my shop too small, meaning I put too much big stuff in there, expecting to expand it, and it's hard to get around in there now when I have anything big. What do I do with my scrap wood? Oh God, you don't know. I was actually burning a bunch of walnut like the last day or two, and it was just small, kind of cracked chunks that genuinely wasn't any good, but someone out there would be super upset if they saw all the walnut that I was burning the last couple of days. I have these Rubbermaid tubs upstairs with a bunch of most of my offcuts up there. I just gave some away. I had one of my best friends from like 6th grade stop by for something recently, and I had some big slabs that I've been kicking around for a couple of years, and I just like, hey, you want to take these? And he's like, yeah, I do. Why the name Blacktail? I have a fish and wildlife background. When I went to school for fish and wildlife science, and blacktail is a type of deer in the Pacific Northwest. It's basically only on the west coast of North America. How frequently do I do the Skype consultations? A couple times a week. Putting PC parts in a table. Got a tip? I don't know. Maybe seal them up with epoxy just in case they like hold some bubbles before you put them in the deep pour. Wooden AK-47 stock. All right. We're still getting more project ideas. I thought we moved on from that. Are people still just tuning in? My first Lego set. Megan, we need to stay focused here. This is why I like my normal videos where I'm like right to the point. Now you guys are all over the board. Beavers basketball, will they go to the Final Four this season? God, last year was a good year. But my buddy, who's a huge Beaver fan, bigger than me, who actually knows a lot and knows some people there, he said we were horrible. The basketball team is not looking good. So I would say no. Deschutes the best beer? No, but it's a good beer. Doom congratulates me on how fast the channel blew up. Yeah, it's been a crazy path. Is any of you guys watching, or is anybody out there, YouTubers, have any YouTube questions? I'm happy to share what I've learned. I don't know. I think a lot of it's just by accident, but if anybody has any questions on that, I'm happy to answer too. Do I like free wood? I like really nice wood, whether I have to pay for it or not. You should watch Breaking Bad. Flob, who do you think you're talking to here? You think you just throw things around like that? Like I haven't seen Breaking Bad at least twice all the way through, maybe more. Come on, I'm not a tourist. Ninkasi, no, screw Ninkasi, it's no good. Yeah, still using the Nikon. I actually just ordered a new lens like 2 days ago, so I'm excited. I got a macro lens. What mic am I using? This is a Rode NTG, I think. It's yeah, I like it. Works pretty good. It's not super fancy. How much time do I spend video editing per day? It'll go from like the entire day, but not like, I don't know, 1 day every 2 weeks probably, or 2 days every 2 weeks. It goes in spurts where I'll just do like a whole day of editing or two whole days of editing. Thad says, hey Cam, I'm starting an epoxy coating company here in Malaysia. It's been so tough, especially being here. Any advice? Gosh, that's pretty broad. Excuse me, Thad. I guess I don't know what the challenges are. I don't know if you're not selling or if the tables aren't turning out well, but I'm happy to answer if you follow up with that. If I made any gun stocks before, yeah, made that BB gun one I told you guys about. What was my first video recorded on? This is a question I get a lot. Every video I recorded up until I had about 700,000 subscribers was done on my iPhone. Not this iPhone, I guess it's my last one. So yeah, you don't need a fancy camera to do YouTube. I got to 700,000 with just iPhone videos, and I edited everything on my iPhone too. I just use a little iMovie software, and I'd sit there while we watch TV and just do my video editing. Now I use DaVinci Resolve. It's seemed to be the most intuitive one for me. I never edited anything before on like a regular PC, so now I use DaVinci Resolve. Brooks is live. How do you know my middle name? What's going on here? 2024 presidential prediction. Swedish, that's a great question. And I'm glad you brought that up because I do not talk about anything political on this channel. So never ask me anything political, and you will never know which side I'm on or if I even have a side, because that is not the purpose of my channel. So you came to the wrong place for anything like that. Favorite tool? I really like a good table saw. Do I still keep my hours up in the helicopter? Nope. I might never fly again. Ever gone strictly mustache? I did once. My girlfriend, I don't know, after college said that she would like me with a mustache, and I was like, don't dare me. So I did it. And then I had it for like 2 weeks, and she's like, all right, you can shave it. It was pretty funny, actually. I look like a cop or a fireman. What tools are behind me? These are actually pretty cool. These, besides that big timber slick and that mallet, all of these belong to my great grandfather. My dad's had them forever, and when I got more into the woodworking, he's like, "Hey, you probably like these more than me." But yeah, those all belong to my great grandfather who built houses and churches and a bunch of stuff around Oregon. It's pretty cool stuff, actually. What music do I listen to when I work? I like a lot of classic rock. Yeah, mostly classic rock, which rolls into some 90s and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of good rock, I should say. My favorite car. Oh man, I used to be a bit more of a car guy too. I had a '70 Scout, which was really cool. You guys would call it like a Jeep thing or a Bronco, but I had a Scout. And but as far as a car, like a '71 Cuda, it's pretty cool. Why is all these Dungeons and Dragons comments coming up? No, never played. What age did I go bald? Like 19 if you ask my buddies, and 21 if you ask me. I have a saw stop. Ford, Chevy, or GMC? Mopar, obviously. Oh, Vampire's got a 65 Scout? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, mine was a 70, basically the same style as that 65. I don't miss it because now I have a giant table saw where it sat, but yeah, Scout's pretty cool. Yeah, Scout, like an International Harvester? Yes, exactly like that. The 1970 International Scout with a 392 from a International truck. I didn't go Chevy conversion on it. I had a 727 from a 79 Scout in there. Dual Dana 44s. Come on, guys. I know cars. '83 Jeep J10, nice. Ever been to South Dakota? Scouts were born there? I thought they were made in Ohio. Oh wait, Scouts were badass. BA. I thought you said they were born there. Yeah. No, I've never been to South Dakota. I would like to go to the Dakotas though. Hey, buddy. I know. We got a little while longer. Riggs is bugging me, so we'll go till 6 o'clock if that sounds good with you guys. Do I ever have dreams at night about flying helicopters? No, man. People keep asking about helicopters. I flew a lot. I got like 4,000 hours in a helicopter. No, I have completely satisfied that curiosity about me. So no, I'm good not flying. John says they have International tractors. Yeah, International. They make a good tractor, and for a while they made a cool car. Ever had an accident or injury in the shop or near misses? Nothing bad. Although today I had kind of an interesting one. I was taking this 9-foot slab in to get surfaced, and as I was coming back, I heard it rocking around a little bit. Long story short, I had it fell out of the back of my truck, but I caught it because my little tonneau cover thing caught it, and so I had to stop in the middle of traffic with this slab that I wouldn't have been able to lift off the ground by myself. And anyway, it was just barely hanging in the back of my truck that was at a stoplight. I had to push it back in. Do I like the Corvette Stingray? I like the 63 to 67 Corvette Stingrays. I think those are the only ones I like. What's my favorite hobby next to woodworking? That's a good question. Woodworking used to be the hobby. God, I don't know. I feel like it's all I do now. I don't know. I'll come back to that one. Favorite sport? Probably American football. Scouts were first made in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Are there woodworking groupies? Oh yeah, big time. My wife, she just doesn't know it. Ever tried wood turning? A little bit, but no, not really. Go Dogs. What is this? Look at these SEC comments. My God. Yeah, Sam says he'd be drinking beer if he had to answer 10,000 questions like this, and that's why I'm drinking beer here. It's not my first time. Should Lillard stay in Portland? I mean, I said I'm not a political channel, so probably not a sports channel either. I don't know. I like his loyalty, but yeah, we're not gonna win with. That's a good question. Sorry, it's not a sports channel. Sorry, people don't want to come here for that, but that is a good question. I'm happy that he's been so loyal. I think you need to set up a bio so folks can check it out. I did a whole video about me. I don't know what more people want. Chipotle order, steak nachos. Are you delivering, Gabrielle? I was secretly hoping that was my wife because she'll bring me home Chipotle. So yeah, steak nachos would be great, Gabrielle. Thank you. If I didn't live in Oregon, where would you live? That's a good question. I don't know. That's fair. Colorado, Montana, maybe. Any ideas and hobbies yet? I don't know. There's a lot of questions, guys. Give me a second. Would you skydive and dive on the same day? I think if you do skydiving first, you're fine. Machine sharpening or stone sharpening? I do a little bit of both. Lager, IPA. There we go. Texas. I did live in Texas, so take that for what it's worth when I didn't list that on the places I would live. No, we don't have Wingstop in Oregon. Sorry. What cities are in Oregon or Washington are great to live in that are affordable and pretty? There's some pretty cities like Sweet Home that is a complete shithole that you don't want to live in. Sorry if anybody from Sweet Home. No, what am I kidding? They don't have internet in Sweet Home. But if you look at like aerial views of Sweet Home or like just regular photos of Sweet Home, you think it's the prettiest town you've ever seen. And then you go and you're like, oh, no, this is why it's so cheap. So yeah, that's a tough question. There's a Wingstop in Portland? Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. Sugar City, yeah. Someone knows Sweet Home. God, I hope I didn't imagine anybody from Sweet Home was watching this, so we'll see if I get blown up here in a second. Tri-Cities in Washington, they're expensive up there though. I flew up in Tri-Cities a lot. I knew a lot of people that live there. I think it's really expensive. Oregon's pretty expensive right now. Bend is, if I could live anywhere, I'd live in Bend. It's a great place. Marvel or DC, better movie? I'm tired of them both. What am I drinking? I switched to a Sweet As beer. I own golf clubs. I haven't golfed much lately, though. Spokane, Grants Pass, and Eugene. Are those like the three worst cities you're trying to name? Are you trying to send some poor sucker to the worst cities? Keith, oh my God. Spokane, Grants Pass, and Eugene. Those are the three worst cities in both states. Don't go to Spokane, Grants Pass, or Eugene. Favorite movie? Probably Stand By Me, which filmed in Oregon, actually. Do I hunt? I used to hunt a lot more. I don't do it much anymore. More questions about a lathe. I have used them, but no, I don't know what I'm doing. Beer or whiskey? Definitely beer. Oh, thanks, J-Rod. Appreciate that. I've never done epoxy and Osage orange, but I wouldn't be afraid of it. Yeah, Stand By Me. A lot of people don't know it's a Stephen King book, The Body, but just a great movie. Beatles or Stones? I'll take like anybody over the Beatles. Actually, I do not like the Beatles. Might give me some hate here. I like the Stones a fair amount, but definitely Stones over Beatles. But that's not the best question. It should be like Zeppelin or Queen, something like that. Pink Floyd. I love Pink Floyd. That used to be my favorite band, like for like my whole high school and college. Yeah, I love Pink Floyd. Ever listen to Sabaton? No, I never heard of them. Zeppelin or Queen? There we go. That's a great question. Probably Zeppelin, but Queen's really good. Metallica. That was my first concert. Yeah, I actually really like Metallica. Favorite country western singer of all time? I don't know. I'm not diehard country, but I do like a fair amount of country. Maybe like George Strait or something. Leonard Skinner. I like Skinner. Okay, I used to like him more, but yeah, they're a good band. Ever worked with Buckeye Burl? No, it's cool though. I'd like to. Favorite season for woodwork? I don't know, like fall is nice. Open the doors. Eurythmics or Blondie? Oh, I'm embarrassed. I don't possess enough knowledge to give an educated answer on that, but I appreciate the deep pull there. Yeah, struggle with my slabs. Richard says, I got a little forklift. It's just like I said, I made my shop too small, so it's kind of hard to negotiate it to kind of shimmy the forklift around. But yeah, I need to come up with something. Do I have a favorite podcast? When I drove to work a lot, I listened to a lot of podcasts. And now I don't listen to a lot of them. I was listening to a lot of This American Life. They were kind of nice filler, but yeah. Conan or Letterman? Probably Letterman. I don't listen to a lot of I don't watch a lot of the late night though anymore. Portland is the worst. All right, now you tell me. You know I already live here, right? So what do I do now? Nirvana or God? This is way off topic, people. But I'm fascinated by these questions. Nirvana or Stone Temple Pilots? I'll go STP there. Yeah, I like that. Good one. I like this. Have I ever been to Vermont? No, I've done a fair amount of the East Coast, but I haven't done like Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, any of that stuff. I did the like, my mom lived in Virginia, so I did the DC, Virginia, Maryland thing. Do I cook? Only when I'm hungry. Salsa? That's the question there. Ever been overseas? Yeah, not as much as some people though. We did a China, Malaysia last 2 years ago now, which is pretty cool. And then been to a few other countries, but that was my first time on a different continent. And then I guess I went to Colombia the same year. We have a comment from way back at the start of the podcast of finding a passionate shop teacher. Yeah, I like it. Afghanistan is beautiful. I've seen pictures and videos, and Afghanistan's no joke. It's like a beautiful country. First trip post COVID, we keep talking about going to Africa. That's like it's like Africa and then like every other country I want to go to. I know Africa's not a country, but we're going to hit a couple countries in Africa. So that's way up on my list. I'm dying to go to Africa. So hopefully when COVID's all chilled out, we'll finally do that. Is anybody watching from Africa? And then you got to probably just lie and comment, say that you are, but it'd be cool if somebody actually is. If you comment that you're from Africa, you have to name the city, and it can't be Johannesburg because that's the only city I know in Africa. Been a bunch of places in Africa, begged me to reconsider. I don't buy it. I will not reconsider. Never worked with Coalwood, although my wife's family and their business has business in Hawaii, so I'd like to go over there and try to get some. What's interesting in Africa? Animals, man. Told you, I got a fish and wildlife background. Oh, you're from South Africa. Cool, Paul. Great woods in Africa. I've never gotten any African woods. Pizza or tacos? God, that's a great question, actually. I don't know. I want one of both. I could actually go for eat both of those tonight. Egypt and Africa. I talked to a guy I used to work with who was probably the most traveled person I'd ever met. He for 20 years he worked 6 weeks on in some random part of the country or part of the world, and then 6 weeks he just got a plane ticket to wherever he wanted to go. So for 20 years he didn't have a home and he just went all over the world. I asked him the most dangerous place he ever went, and he said Egypt. So that's where I'm like, I don't know if I'm up for Egypt just yet. Chinese food or Mexican food? God, I've recently become a big fan of Chinese food. I was actually hoping to order that tonight. But Mexican food is so good. Legalization of weed, yeah or nay? I don't know. Does that count as political? Who cares? It's legal. It's legal now. Some places. All right, we'll give it. We're just a little past time here. My dog, he's actually whining now. If you guys can hear him moaning in the background because he wants me to go play with him. Turkish food. I don't know that I've ever had that actually. Maybe I have. Korean barbecue. Yeah, I love that. But we're getting off topic, guys. This isn't interesting. You guys don't want to know what kind of foods I like. Thoughts on redwood slab tables? I don't know if you guys have seen any of the posts I've done of the crazy big. I have like a 8 foot by 8 foot redwood slab from like a legit old growth that was cut down like 100 years ago, and they left these stumps. And anyway, I got a really cool project coming up. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Have I ever got epoxy on my dog? No, man. Have I ever watched Better Call Paul? Not that one. No. See Better Call Saul. Yeah, I use Osmo. It's not great protection. Why do you guys want to like? I get these demands where people are like, "Say this word." What kind of conversation is this? Is this how you guys talk to people? This is bizarre. Here's a fair question. Did I watch Portlandia? I've seen it, but it's basically like a documentary. Like it's not even a joke. Like that's actually how Portland is. So if you guys have any questions about what Portland's like, watch Portlandia. It's exactly how it is. All right, let's see. I'll give it another minute. If you guys get anything, but you can see the dog here. He's campaigning to get me upstairs here pretty quick. GTC has a great question. I missed it. What was it? Does my back hurt? Actually, yeah, it does. People have been saying that I'm going to hurt my back, and like for the last I don't know 2 weeks, part of my back is quite in quite a lot of pain actually. Ever been pheasant hunting? Yeah, I have. Ever met a wood dog? No. See, you guys are just stalling now. This is like kids that don't want to go to bed. You're just like, oh, we got to say something so we can stay up a little bit longer. Do I work out? Yeah, we have a little kind of home gym. We stopped going to the regular gym, so kind of. Riggs, anything to do with Lethal Weapon? Yep, he was named after Riggs from Lethal Weapon. Am I a vet? No, I just take care of the animals myself. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Look at this guy; he's desperate to go chase a BALL. All right, guys, I do appreciate it. We'll do another one of these in like a week or two. It's fun. I like these. I appreciate the feedback, and hope you guys tune in next time. I'll try to have a little more direction. Maybe leave me a comment or suggestion of like a way I can streamline these a little bit and make them so it's not just me kind of squinting at the ticker trying to read questions. So anyway, all right, thanks guys. We'll talk later.